For countless millennia, the stars above Earth had been watched, studied, and catalogued by alien civilizations scattered across the galaxy. From the cold deserts of distant planets to the glittering towers of star cities, alien scholars and strategists often whispered among themselves about the civilizations beyond their sight. Many worlds sent signals, probes, and fleets to explore the unknown. But there was one world that always puzzled them: Earth. To the galaxy, Earth seemed quiet, almost painfully so. Its radio signals flickered and faded in the emptiness of space, scattered across frequencies that seemed meaningless. Its small probes, launched centuries ago, carried messages that many civilizations barely noticed. There were no towering space stations orbiting the planet, no fleets patrolled its solar system, no colonies reached outward. Earth appeared to be a lonely, primitive planet, lost in a vast ocean of stars. "They are insignificant," said a council member of the Glithar Dominion, his thin tendrils tapping impatiently against the console. "Their broadcasts are weak. Their technology does not even approach interstellar capability. They are harmless. We need not worry about them." Yet, far below the alien gaze, Earth was not silent. It had only been patient. For centuries, humanity had looked to the stars and dreamed of reaching them. Their progress was slow, but steady. Scientists, engineers, and explorers worked tirelessly, building technologies that could one day carry humanity far beyond the limits of their solar system. And while the galaxy assumed that Earth was weak, humanity had quietly grown in secret. By the 22nd century, humanity's fleets were no longer confined to Earth's orbit. Hidden bases on the Moon, Mars, and even in distant asteroids served as construction sites for ships that dwarfed anything the galaxy could imagine. These were not just vessels of war. They were marvels of engineering, carriers capable of holding hundreds of smaller ships, battleships armed with energy shields and advanced weapons, and scientific cruisers that could study the cosmos for decades without returning home. Every vessel was a testament to human ingenuity, built with a mix of efficiency, creativity, and determination that no alien species had anticipated. Earth's leaders knew that the galaxy underestimated them, and they decided it was time to change that perception. The plan was audacious, perhaps even reckless. A sudden, coordinated emergence of the entire human fleet into interstellar space. 2,000 vessels, moving as one, would demonstrate that Earth was no longer silent, and it was certainly not weak. Admiral Layla Chen stood on the bridge of the flagship Aurora, staring out at the blackness of space beyond the protective shields. The other vessels of the Armada were aligned in precise formation, each one communicating silently through encrypted channels. "Everything is ready, Admiral," said her communications officer, a young woman named Tessa. Her eyes were bright with anticipation. "All vessels are synchronized. Launch sequences are complete. The galaxy will see us in 3 minutes." Layla nodded, feeling a mixture of pride and tension. "Good. Humanity has waited long enough. Let's show them what we are capable of." The countdown began. Across the Armada, every ship activated its engines, shields, and navigation systems. The silence of the galaxy was about to be broken. As the first vessels left Earth's orbit, alien sensors across nearby systems began to detect unusual energy patterns. The Glithar Dominion scouts were among the first to notice. "What is that?" a young analyst asked, eyes wide as the console flashed with new readings. It's enormous. Hundreds of vessels, moving in perfect coordination. "That is impossible." "It cannot be Earth," another council member said, his voice sharp. "They are too primitive. No civilization on that planet could build fleets of this size and capability." Yet the readings were undeniable. For the first time, the galaxy saw that Earth had not been silent. It had been preparing, watching, and waiting. The human armada moved through the void with precision. Each vessel maintained perfect formation, reacting instantly to any gravitational pull or cosmic anomaly. They passed through dense asteroid fields and navigated energy storms that would have crippled lesser ships. The armada was a single organism, each ship and organ working in harmony with the others. On the bridge of the Aurora, Layla monitored the progress. She watched as alien probes appeared on long-range scanners, attempting to intercept the fleet. She allowed herself a small, satisfied smile. They think they can stop us. They have no idea what humanity is capable of. The first encounters were cautious. Alien scouts approached, sending signals of inquiry. Their communications were formal, mechanical, and cautious. Humans responded in kind, not with aggression but with confidence. Messages were sent, carefully worded, demonstrating humanity's technological achievements and their readiness to engage with other civilizations. But also, a quiet warning: do not underestimate us. Meanwhile, on Earth, millions of eyes watched live feeds from the Armada. People had been kept in suspense for decades, waiting for the day humanity would step fully into the stars. Now, that day had come. Children pressed their faces against screens, scientists held their breath, and leaders stood silently, knowing that the galaxy was about to see a side of humanity it had never imagined. Not all aliens reacted with fear. Some were curious. Others were cautious. Many were in disbelief. "A fleet of this magnitude cannot come from that planet," muttered one Glither engineer. "We have misjudged them entirely." As the Armada continued its journey, it encountered natural challenges of space: magnetic storms, rogue comets, and gravitational anomalies. Each obstacle was met with human ingenuity. Shields adapted to magnetic interference. Engines adjusted to unexpected currents. Sensors recalibrated instantly to track fast-moving debris. The fleet moved as though it were alive, a living testament to the creativity and determination of its creators. Layla reflected on the journey so far. She thought of the generations who had worked in secret, who had believed that humanity could achieve greatness. She thought of the scientists, engineers, and explorers who had risked everything to build this fleet. And she thought of the people of Earth, who had been patient, resilient, and courageous. Humanity was no longer a quiet planet. Humanity was a force. At the edge of their solar system, the Armada slowed, forming a vast, defensive perimeter. This was a calculated decision. The fleet had to demonstrate its capabilities, but it also had to be strategic. Alien observers would surely interpret their actions as either a threat or a test. Humans had to be ready for either response. The first wave of alien vessels approached. They were scouts, unarmed, yet cautious. They had been sent to identify this sudden emergence of ships, but they had not expected what they saw. The humans moved deliberately, communicating openly yet assertively. Their technology was unlike anything the galaxy had catalogued. Energy shields shimmered with unusual efficiency. Propulsion systems allowed unprecedented maneuvers, and the coordination of thousands of vessels moving as one was beyond comprehension. "What are they doing?" asked one alien commander, shaking its head in disbelief. "They are organized, adaptive. This is not primitive behavior. This is advanced, intelligent, and deliberate." And indeed, it was. Humanity had not only built advanced ships, they had built a civilization capable of thinking faster, reacting smarter, and adapting more creatively than any other species had predicted. For the first time, the galaxy began to understand a simple truth: Earth was not silent. Earth had only been waiting for the right moment to speak. And when it did, it spoke with the clarity and power of a civilization that refused to be underestimated. As Part 1 of the human emergence came to its climax, the Armada held its position at the edge of the solar system, waiting for the galaxy's response. The world watched with pride, and humanity realized that it had taken the first true step into the cosmos not as a minor player, but as a civilization that would soon shape the future of the stars. The silence of the galaxy had ended. Humanity had begun to speak, and it would not be ignored. The human armada had left its solar system behind. Across thousands of kilometers of dark space, the 2,000 vessels moved in perfect formation, their engines humming with quiet power. Stars streaked past like tiny sparks, and the void that had once seemed endless now became a stage for human determination and ingenuity. Admiral Layla Chen stood on the bridge of the Aurora, her eyes scanning the instruments. Every reading, Every signal, every flicker of energy was a part of a larger puzzle. The puzzle of navigating unknown space and making humanity known to the galaxy. "Status report," she commanded. "All vessels are holding formation." "Admiral," Tessa replied, her fingers moving quickly over the controls. "No damage reported. Communications are stable. We are entering the outer perimeter of the first alien sector." Layla nodded. This was the moment that mattered most. Beyond this point, the Armada would encounter civilizations that had long assumed Earth was weak. Some would be curious. Some would be cautious. A few might even try to stop them. Humanity had no choice but to show that it was prepared for anything. The first signals came slowly. Faint at first, like whispers across the void. Then stronger, more urgent, as alien scouts detected the Armada's presence. The humans had expected this. They had calculated the reaction times of nearby civilizations and had prepared responses to every likely scenario. A small fleet of alien reconnaissance ships appeared on long-range scanners. Their shapes were unfamiliar, angular and glowing with a soft, bluish light. They had not yet realized the full scale of humanity's strength. "They are scouts," Layla said. "Prepare the communication channels. We want to be seen, not attacked yet. Let them know who we are." Layla said, "We want to be seen, Jaeger." Messages were transmitted, carefully crafted in universal code. They introduced humanity, explained the purpose of the Armada, and offered a choice. "Observe us peacefully, or risk misunderstanding the capabilities of a species that had long been underestimated." The aliens responded with hesitation. Their ships moved closer, circling the human fleet with mechanical caution. Their scanners pulsed, trying to gather information, but the humans were already several steps ahead. Every movement, every adjustment, every signal sent a clear message. Earth had not been silent, and now it would be impossible to ignore. The first challenge came unexpectedly. A rogue comet, traveling faster than predicted, hurtled toward the Armada. While many fleets would have slowed, turned, or risked collision, the humans did something different. "Adjust formation to gamma vector," Layla ordered. "Engage forward shields at full power. Disperse microdrones to track debris." Across the Armada, the ships responded instantly. Shields flared to life, engines shifted, and tiny drones flew out ahead of the fleet, monitoring the comet's path and breaking apart smaller fragments. Within minutes, the threat passed without a single vessel harmed. The alien scouts watched silently, astonished. "They are organized," one alien commander murmured through a translation device. "And adaptive. No other civilization we have observed could respond this fast." The human Armada pressed forward. The galaxy that had once assumed Earth was quiet and weak now had to reconsider. The fleet moved not just as a group, but as a single organism, every vessel knowing its role, every crew trained to respond instantly to any challenge. As they approached the first inhabited systems beyond the solar frontier, the stakes became higher. Humans detected signals of a distant star empire, a civilization that had long claimed dominance over this region. Their fleets were massive, and their defenses strong, yet the humans did not hesitate. Layla convened a strategy session with her senior officers. Holographic maps displayed the alien star system, its planets, orbital stations, and patrol routes. "We are not here to attack," Layla said firmly. "We are here to make our presence known. But we must also demonstrate our capability. The galaxy must see that humanity is a force to respect." The plan was precise. The human vessels would conduct a display of coordinated maneuvers, moving through the star system in a pattern that no alien fleet had ever seen. They would appear as one massive entity, yet split and merge at will, demonstrating technological sophistication and discipline. The demonstration began. Ships moved in sweeping arcs, weaving through asteroid belts and gravitational currents. Energy pulses flared from their engines, casting long shadows against distant stars. The alien civilization watched in amazement as the Armada executed complex maneuvers, each ship responding to the others with perfect timing. "They are magnificent," said one alien observer. a historian rather than a commander. Their coordination, their precision, it is unlike anything in our records, yet admiration was tempered by caution. The alien commanders realized that the humans were not merely showing off, they were proving a point. Humanity had emerged from obscurity, fully prepared to take its place among the stars. Their technology, strategy, and adaptability were far beyond what the galaxy had anticipated. The humans had more than technology on their side. They had ingenuity. In the midst of the display, a group of alien ships attempted an interception, hoping to assert authority. The humans responded calmly. Using gravitational currents, the fleet shifted formation, drawing the alien vessels into a controlled space where their movements were restricted. Without firing a weapon, humans demonstrated dominance by maneuver, intelligence, and control. The aliens had no choice but to retreat, impressed and cautious at once. Throughout the armada, crew members felt a mixture of exhilaration and responsibility. Young pilots marveled at the efficiency of the fleet. Engineers monitored every system with pride, knowing that their decades of work had contributed to this moment. Scientists recorded data about the alien sector, eager to study it and learn, while strategists considered the implications for future interactions. Earth itself watched with a mixture of awe and relief. News feeds from the Armada transmitted live updates, and millions of people across the planet felt a surge of pride. Humanity had taken the first true step into the galaxy. The world had assumed that Earth would always be a minor player, weak and silent. Now, those assumptions were shattered, yet the journey was not without risk. The Armada continued through uncharted space, encountering phenomena that challenged even their advanced technology. A dense nebula interfered with communications, forcing ships to rely on manual coordination. Gravity wells threatened to pull vessels off course. Cosmic storms released bursts of charged particles that disrupted sensors. Each obstacle required rapid problem-solving and adaptive thinking. Humans met every challenge with creativity. Drones were deployed to map dangerous areas. Shields were modulated to withstand particle surges. Propulsion systems adjusted automatically to gravitational anomalies. Every obstacle became a test of human skill and determination. And every success reinforced the galaxy's growing respect for Earth. One unexpected event nearly caused panic. A massive energy storm erupted near a critical jump point, threatening to scatter part of the fleet. Layla remained calm. "Focus on synchronization," she ordered. "Use auxiliary engines. Trust the formation. Trust each other." The ships responded with near-perfect execution. Energy shields flared, engines pulsed, and the Armada passed through the storm without a single casualty. Alien observers, watching from a safe distance, recorded the event in astonishment. Humanity had not only survived, it had thrived in circumstances that would have destroyed many other civilizations. By the end of the journey through this first alien sector, the humans had made a statement. Their Armada was a force of unparalleled coordination, innovation, and courage. The galaxy had been forced to reassess its assumptions about Earth. The planet that had been dismissed as quiet and primitive had revealed itself as a civilization capable of remarkable strategy, engineering, and resilience. Layla allowed herself a rare moment of reflection. From the bridge of the Aurora, she looked at the vast blackness of space and thought about the generations who had made this possible. Every scientist, engineer, and explorer who had dreamed of the stars had contributed to this achievement. Every person on Earth who had believed in humanity's potential had played a role, even if indirectly. "This is only the beginning," she said quietly. And indeed, it was. Beyond the systems they had passed, countless more awaited civilizations that had never considered Earth a contender in the galaxy. Some would welcome humanity, eager to learn and trade. Others would doubt, challenge, or even fear them. But one thing was clear. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never underestimate it again. The void that had once seemed silent was now filled with the presence of a civilization that refused to be ignored. Every vessel in the Armada pulsed with energy and purpose, a clear declaration that Earth had finally taken its place among the stars. The next challenge lay ahead, deeper into alien space. But for now, humanity had proven a simple truth. Even a world once thought weak and silent could rise with determination, skill, and courage to claim its place in the cosmos. The galaxy had begun to notice, and the age of human influence had truly begun. The human armada had crossed the first alien systems and had proven its presence. Across the galaxy, news of Earth's emergence spread quickly. Rumors became reports, reports became warnings, and warnings became urgent conferences in distant star cities. A planet that had long been dismissed as quiet, weak, and insignificant now commanded attention. The galaxy was no longer silent toward Earth, it had awakened to the reality of human power. On the bridge of the flagship Aurora, Admiral Layla Chen studied the latest sensor readings. The Armada was moving deeper into uncharted space, approaching a cluster of star systems controlled by the Arkan Dominion, one of the most technologically advanced civilizations in this region. The Dominion had long assumed that Earth was unworthy of notice. That assumption was about to be challenged. "Admiral," said Lieutenant Rami, the communications officer, "we are receiving messages from multiple Dominion stations. They are requesting our identification and the purpose of our armada." Layla nodded. "Prepare a response. Maintain calm. We do not threaten unless provoked, but we will make our strength clear." The message transmitted was formal but confident. Humanity introduced itself, explained the purpose of the armada, and emphasized that it had arrived not to conquer, but to demonstrate capability, offer cooperation, and ensure that Earth would not be ignored again. The Arkan Dominion responded with caution. Their fleets began to mobilize, scanning and probing every signal from the human vessels. From distant observation points, their leaders debated. Some argued for peaceful engagement, curious about this unexpected development. Others feared aggression, believing that no species could have built such a massive and capable fleet without intent to dominate. Meanwhile, Layla and her officers prepared for first contact. They knew that this moment could define humanity's reputation in the galaxy. Every action, every maneuver, every word would be recorded and remembered. The Armada needed to show the galaxy not only strength, but intelligence, discipline, and adaptability. As they entered the outskirts of the Dominion's controlled systems, scouts detected the first wave of Arkan vessels. They were formidable, sleek, and heavily armed. Their formation was precise, demonstrating decades of tactical expertise. Yet the humans were undeterred. "Maintain formation," Layla ordered. "Show them what coordinated human strategy can do." The Armada moved with astonishing synchronization. Ships split and merged, weaving through asteroid belts and gravitational currents. Their movements calculated yet fluid. The Dominion vessels observed with growing astonishment. The humans did not rush, they did not panic. They adapted, adjusted, and maintained perfect coordination. A senior Arkan commander addressed the fleet. "These humans, they are unlike any species we have encountered. Their coordination, their ability to adapt it, is beyond anything in our records. Prepare cautionary measures, but hold fire." The human fleet's first display was not one of force, but of mastery. In a daring demonstration, they maneuvered around a system-wide magnetic storm that would have disabled most vessels. Human engineers had designed adaptive shields and engines capable of operating in extreme conditions. Every ship passed safely, and the alien observers could only watch in awe, yet admiration was not universal. Some factions of the Dominion were wary. They interpreted the display as a warning, a sign that humanity might be capable of challenging even the most advanced civilizations. A small fleet was dispatched to intercept the humans, testing their response. Lieutenant Rami alerted Layla. "Interceptors detected. They are approaching fast. Estimated engagement in 5 minutes. Layla, I hope please." Layla Fanchins. "Estimated engagement in 5 minutes. Layla's eyes narrowed. "They want to test us. Prepare defensive protocols, but do not engage unless necessary. We show capability without unnecessary aggression." The interceptors arrived, attempting to cut across the human formation. but the Armada was ready. Using gravitational currents, the human fleet maneuvered the interceptors into a position that limited their movement. Without firing a shot, the humans had demonstrated tactical dominance. The aliens were forced to retreat, recording the maneuver with a mixture of awe and concern. This species, they think differently, an Arkan strategist muttered. They anticipate. They adapt. They control situations without relying solely on weapons. We must reconsider our assumptions. Number 7. The humans pressed onward. The Armada moved to a nearby system where the Dominion had established trade stations and research outposts. These facilities had long assumed that Earth had little importance. Now, they witnessed the arrival of a civilization that had been underestimated for centuries. Layla convened a meeting with her senior officers via secure channels. Holographic maps displayed the system, showing the positions of Dominion vessels and stations. Our goal is clear, she said. We show our strength and our willingness to engage peacefully. We do not strike unless provoked, but we must prove humanity's capability. Every action counts. The Armada conducted coordinated maneuvers around the outposts, demonstrating advanced propulsion, shields, and tactical precision. Small drones were deployed to gather data, mapping gravitational anomalies, atmospheric conditions, and energy emissions. The Dominion observed silently, realizing that humans had not only arrived, they had arrived prepared. Then came the first major challenge. A group of Dominion cruisers attempted a blockade, hoping to force the humans to retreat or negotiate. This was humanity's moment to prove strategy and discipline. Layla's voice was steady. Form Delta Matrix. Prepare synchronized evasive maneuvers. Use natural space hazards to our advantage. Maintain full coordination. The human vessels executed flawlessly. They weaved through asteroid belts, using debris as cover, and split into multiple groups that merged again seamlessly. Their shields absorbed minor collisions, engines adjusted instantly, and communication systems maintained perfect synchronization. The Dominion cruisers found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn. Not a single human vessel was damaged. The intercepting commanders were stunned. They are not just strong. They are clever, adaptable, and coordinated. This is unprecedented. By the end of the encounter, the Dominion fleet withdrew. They had seen what humanity could do, and they had learned to respect it. Humans had not fired a weapon, yet the message was clear. Underestimate them at your own peril. News of this demonstration spread across the galaxy. The human armada became a symbol of unexpected strength and ingenuity. Scholars wrote about the fleet's coordination, engineers studied the ship designs, and leaders debated what this emergence meant for their civilizations. Earth, once dismissed, had now become a player on the galactic stage. On the Aurora, Layla allowed herself a rare moment of reflection. She thought of the generations who had worked quietly on Earth, building the fleet and training its crews. She thought of the scientists who had invented the adaptive shields, the engineers who had perfected the propulsion systems, and the strategists who had planned every maneuver. Humanity had been underestimated for too long. Now, the galaxy would never make that mistake again. Yet Layla knew the journey was far from over. Beyond the Dominion systems lay countless other civilizations, each with its own assumptions and fears. Some would welcome humanity. Others might challenge it. But for now, the humans had made a statement that would resonate across star systems for years to come. In private moments aboard the flagship, crew members shared quiet celebrations. Young pilots laughed as they recounted daring maneuvers. Engineers compared shield performance data, and scientists marveled at the knowledge gathered. They were proud, and rightly so. Humanity had stepped boldly into the galaxy, and had done so with skill, intelligence, and courage. Back on Earth, people watched live feeds with awe. Children dreamed of joining the Armada one day. Scientists and engineers felt vindicated. Their decades of work now part of history. Leaders realized that humanity had emerged as a civilization capable of shaping its own destiny in the stars. For the first time in history, the galaxy saw humanity not as weak, not as quiet, but as a civilization to respect. The age of human influence had begun, and as the Armada moved onward, deeper into unknown space, one truth became clear. Earth had arrived, and the universe would never underestimate it again. The human fleet glided through the void with purpose, ready for challenges, discoveries, and alliances. The galaxy had taken notice. Earth was no longer silent, no longer hidden, and no longer weak. Humanity had emerged as a force of ingenuity, courage, and resilience, a species that would shape the destiny of the stars for generations to come. And somewhere, in the far reaches of the galaxy, civilizations that had once dismissed Earth whispered among themselves, "They are not quiet anymore. They are here, and we must pay attention."